Hey Square Bears, so this is a first look at the unit that I created using my LuvMe version hair. And I made a show and tell video a few weeks ago showing you guys exactly about the type of hair that I got, the lengths, where you can get it from, how it came, the packaging and all that. So if you guys want to check out that previous video, I'll link it for you guys below. But this is a look at the completed unit. It's not quite complete because I do have to perfect on the cut a little bit, but I did describe that I wanted to do a long one length sort of bob, a nice little blunt cut. So this is how it looks. I'm going to show you guys a little bit of how I created this unit. I already have the closure laid down, sewn down, and I'm putting my initial border, I guess, track around. And this track, I like to keep it very close to the end of the band, I guess, or the end of the dome cap. I want to say around the edges, around the edges, and I do it really, really close because it does create a nice natural look. If it starts blowing away from your face, away from the wind, you don't see tracks. It's not super bulky. So I like to put that kind of border track around for all of my units. Now, typically how I put my tracks down is from the nape area to about right where like the curve of your head, the first curve of the back of your head is. I like to put those tracks down back and forth straight across, sort of parallel from each other. But once the head starts to curve, then I like to curve the tracks as well. Now, for the tracks that are kind of parallel to each other, like one right on top of each other, I like to make those sort of close together. And then as it starts to curve around the shape of the head, I like to leave a little bit of space, and that is going to make it look just as full but not really bulky, especially when we're dealing with some super straight hair. You do want it to look nice and full. You don't want it to look thin, but you want it to look also natural and not bulky. So it's best to put in your tracks to go along the curvatures of a natural head. So I think you can see it a little bit better here, that I'm sort of curving those tracks as opposed to kind of forcing it to go straight across. And I like to cut as little hair as possible as far as the tracks. So I like to fold the tracks as you saw before, and kind of making sure that it's pinned down and secured. Now this is at the top of the head, I guess around the crown area, and right there I like to use sort of U-shaped track laying and stitching it down right there so that it can go around the actual closure. So this is how it looks from the closure to the last track. And just to get my initial cut for my one length, it's really easy. Just pull all the hair back into a ponytail. Make sure that the head is sitting straight up or standing straight up, and everything is nice and as even as possible. And it would help you to have super sharp shears. My shears are a little dull, so I need to switch it up, but that's how I do the initial cut, and that's going to make it as easy as possible to at least start with the one length. Now you can get more technical and clean up the shape, of course, by going into the hair and doing the cut and just perfecting the lines. So again, here is a final look at the unit. Now, the closure part, what I usually do for my closures now is I don't like to use foundation or concealer to blend it in. I just think that's absolutely unnecessary. So what I do is I either use fabric dye, I use hair dye, or I use hair rinse to the closure. So this is how the closure looks before, and then I went ahead and used actually a rinse that is like a warm brown to kind of match my skin tone right there, and I simply applied the rinse and let it work and rinsed it out. Okay, of course I have a tutorial on this makeup look, so I will link it below. It is live for you guys, but this is a final look at the hair, and I did not clean up the haircut yet. I think I'm going to just take a little bit of the weight off of the ends just to make it a softer kind of one length. I don't want to do too many layers into it, but of course I want to clean up the cut and iron it out. But this is how the hair looks naturally straight without ironing it out. I absolutely love this hair. So that is that. Hope you guys enjoyed this video and hope you guys learned a lot from it. The type of dome cap that I use is down below. I got it from Amazon, so make sure that you check out that link as well. And I think that is it. So I'll see you in the next video, you guys.